back to the Lent Reflections. Just continuing on in our series of John. I'm in the same part I was yesterday, John 10, 14 to 21. So I'm just going to whiz through it again and we'll touch on a slightly different point. Okay, so John 10, 14. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me. Just as the Father knows me and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this sheepfold. I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there shall be one flock and one shepherd. The reason my Father loves me is that I lay down my life, only to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down and authority to take it up again. This command I received from my Father. The Jews who heard these words were again divided. Many of them said, "He is demon-possessed and raving mad. Why listen to him?" But others said, "These are not the sayings of a man possessed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind?" So, yesterday we talked a little bit about the authority of Jesus and his power and how it's kind of his choice to die for us. Today I want to touch a little bit more about kind of the sheepfold metaphor. You know, as a church we're all together in this sheepfold or this sheep pen, but then Jesus is kind of saying to these guys in John that I must bring them also. I have other sheep that are not of the sheepfold. So that's kind of an interesting little question, isn't it? But I think most, from what I could see from my Googling, most people kind of consider that to mean the Gentiles. So Jesus is mostly talking to Jewish people here. I think what he might mean by that is the Gentiles, obviously the people who aren't Jewish, and opening that up. But I just wonder if it's kind of could be more than that as well. You know, I think it's good for us to be open to the idea of Jesus' sovereignty on these issues, isn't it? Like, we don't get to decide who's in the sheepfold, or who kind of Jesus considers his sheep. That's something that he gets to choose, and he doesn't give us a list of rules about who that is. He just says that there are others who will come with us, which is really a great thing. And I also just wanted to say, at the end of this, we see these Jews who are divided by the words of Jesus, and some of them say that he is demon-possessed and raving mad, but others say, "These are not the sayings of a man possessed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind?" And I just wanted to sort of say, you know, that it's interesting that we see doubts recorded in the Bible in this way. I think if you were going to make up the Bible, you probably wouldn't put stuff like that in there to be like, oh, some people were calling Jesus a demon. That would be a little bit counterintuitive to try and convince people. But kind of as a historical thing, that this works quite well because it shows us a very normal thing even in our day and age. Some people think this is real, some people think this is something not real. I think it's really interesting that there's kind of this discourse going on in and amongst the Jews that are divided. And I just want to kind of say, you know, that I know doubts are very real for people even today. And if people are having these kind of doubts, you know, maybe you're really struggling to believe some of the things that Jesus, I just think, just go back to this before, you know, he is a good shepherd. He looks after his sheep, you know, and just come and join the sheepfold. Come and follow Jesus. Don't get too caught up in the details of the doubts, because it's he is trustworthy and he is good, as this story tells before. And I think it's a great point, isn't it? Like, these are not the sayings of a man possessed by a demon, some people say. So true. Like, this is such wisdom about being the good shepherd, and it's very loving. And I think I agree with that. I don't think this is wisdom. This is not something that is malicious for anybody's life. So if somebody's going through doubts out there, then hopefully this just helps you to take refuge. Just simply just become like a sheep and follow Jesus, and he will look after you. So thank you for that today. Okay, I think we're joined by Matt for the rest of this chapter for the next couple of days. So have a great rest of your day.